Okay, so today is Thursday, September 11th, 2025. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Here's, sorry for the little yawny. I think this is the second Thursday in a row I've done the video in my room set on my car. And again, kind of the same thing. Just haven't done a whole lot of these in the room as much. I'm like, I'm probably gonna be at the house for a bit today before I head out, but I want to go ahead and do this in the morning. So I'm just gonna chill in my room. I'm just gonna be comfy for a bit while I do this. So, going over the week in the past few days. So I'll start with something that I forgot to write down, but I totally should have. That's my bad. Which is that I went ahead and got caught up on season 2 of Dan Today. Actually, I guess I can't say that now. Because I think because it's Thursday, a new episode just dropped, or like will drop later today. But aside from that, aside from the one that came out today, I've caught up on season 2. And I was telling Clay about it because he hasn't watched Dan Today. And I'm like, dude, this show is cracked. Just how absolutely insane it is. I was telling him about. I guess I won't go super deep into spoilers for anyone who's not caught up, but I told him about the Beethoven episodes. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. And just like explaining the setup to what happened, the lore behind it, and just the escalation of the events, and how I was watching it and going like, I thought the last couple episodes were insane, because I didn't even tell him about the Exorcism concert, which was immaculate. I absolutely loved it, and it was one of those moments where I watched it and I was thinking to myself, like, this is why I like this show. It is just insane, unbridled creativity, and visually it's amazing, and like the soundtrack is amazing. The show kind of has everything I want, and it also has, I think, a genuinely really good emotional center with a relationship between Momo and Okurun. But also, I'm like, this is... what am I watching? In the best possible way. I'm like, what is this? A center for ants? Which... the ending of episode 10 of season 2, which I think is what, like episode 22 overall so far, and the reveal of what the monster was. Again, I won't spoil what it is if you haven't seen it, but I had no idea this was gonna happen. And when I saw it, I think I literally said to myself out loud, I was like, do the roar! Do the roar! He didn't do the roar. I hope it happens in episode 11, and it's probably not gonna be the same roar, but it'll... Sorry, I'm remembering the Austin Powers joke. But, I'm excited to go ahead and get caught up. I'm assuming it'll, like season 1, it'll be 12 episodes, maybe 13. So, like season 1, I don't know if it'll actually conclude the fight with this thing, or if it'll just kind of stop in the middle of the arc. But I'm having such a good time with it. Let's see. Earlier this week, I think it was Monday, maybe Tuesday, I think it was Monday, I watched the first, I think, 3 episodes of the new Panty and Stalking season, which I also haven't written down. It's okay. I don't know. I don't want to be like, I didn't laugh. This is juvenile below me. It's terrible. Like, no, but I wasn't, like, the first episode, I noticed I really didn't laugh. There were a few times like, oh, okay, that was kind of funny, but it just wasn't hitting right. And then in some of the other ones, like, there were definitely some jokes with the, like, Mandalorian samurai that made me laugh. The Magic the Gathering episode, there were definitely parts where I'm like, I just didn't find that personally funny. But just the whole concept of, oh yeah, there's this really rare card because it's never been printed again. I'm like, okay, yeah, like, as someone who's a bit more into collector stuff and has kind of followed some of that stuff, that's really funny. The fact that they knew to put Black Lotus in there, that's funny. I get that. And just the fact that it's like a Blue Eyes White Dragon thing, I'm like, okay, that's more Yu-Gi-Oh! Than Magic, but that's something that appeals to me. Like, I appreciated that. The Fast and Furious parody, dude, like, that was the hardest I laughed. Like, I will not deny that. Like, I had a really good time, but was also watching it, like, because I watched it with a group of friends, and I'm like, dude, this is gross. Like, this is funny, but oh man, I hate how wet this is. But the ending with Brian and Dom, like, going in the different directions as, like, a, like, parody motif of See You Again starts playing, I'm like, That one got me. Like, that was really funny. So, I don't know if I'm gonna keep watching. Like, I'll say this. Genuine, because I loved the first season. And I don't know how much of it is just my sense of humor has changed. Again, I don't want to be like super smug about it or anything. Like, if you like it, you like it. That's great. It's just, I don't know if my sense of humor has changed where I just don't find this kind of humor that funny, or if I think the actual writing isn't as funny as it was in season one. I might be a little nostalgia blind on that. I'm not sure. But I'll say, based on my enjoyment of those first 3 episodes, I don't feel like, yeah, I'm gonna keep watching it of my own volition. I don't want to say like I'd be trapped or forced into it, but it's one of those like, all right, if I'm hanging out with some friends and they're like, hey, let's keep watching, or yeah, I walk in and they're watching a few episodes, I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna demand they turn it off. It's like, oh, okay, like I'll watch a few, and maybe if some like really make me laugh, I'll want to get back into it. Which also reminds me, I have not watched any more Victory Gundam. I want to. I really liked it. I just, for whatever reason, my brain is like, I watched a lot of Gundam. This looks good. This looks really cool. I really vibed with what I watched. But that I've already watched a lot of Gundam, and this is, I don't know, maybe Wing broke me. Maybe Wing really broke me. I'm like, dude, I can't do this no more. I also still have 6 episodes left of Arcane, which I haven't gotten back into, because I watched the first 3 episodes of season 2 like a couple weeks ago, and I liked it. There were some parts where I was like, so what's the point of... Oh, there is this one thing that really bothered me. Because at the end of... What was it? Was it at the end of... I think it was at the end of episode 2. They establish... Okay, maybe it was episode 3. I don't remember now. But there's an episode that ends with establishing, like, the hit squad. Like, with Caitlyn, Vi, and, like, these other 3. And I'm like, oh, okay. We have a squad. We have a team. So I assume we're going to take some time to really get to know these other 3. Because we've seen a little bit of them. But we're going to get to know them. We're going to get, like, a team dynamic. Yeah, I love a good team. I love a good squad. So the team breaks up before that even happens. Like, the other 3 just get sent home. Like, but why? What was the point? What was the point being like, all right, we got a team, we're assembling, and then they do like one mission. It doesn't even go like super pear-shaped. It's just, all right, it wasn't successful, and now, wait, so we're splitting up. What was the point? Huh? Okay. But I still want to watch the rest of it. I really loved season 1. I liked what I watched so far of season 2. I just, again, kind of like with Gundam, haven't been motivated to watch it. So transitioning then into games. Silk Song has come out. The boys be playing Silk Song. Like, when I went to go watch Manny and Stalking with the boys, like, I walked in, so one friend is playing Hollow Knight, one friend is playing Silk Song, another friend is playing, what was it called? I think it was called, like, Barony, because I thought it was Minecraft, and then I learned it wasn't. And then, down the hall, one friend, I can hear him playing Silk Song, and another friend, I can't hear him, but I know he's playing Silk Song. So I have, like, and then and then when I got back and started hanging out with Clay, he was playing it. So I've got a lot of people who are playing it, and so far they all seem to be really enjoying it. And I have said, like, I'm not a Metroidvania guy. I'm not super interested in the game. I played Hollow Knight. I liked it. I didn't love it. I have nothing but respect for Hollow Knight. I have nothing but respect for Silk Song. I'm glad to see the game doing incredibly well, and I hope it continues to do well. I love the fact that the reason this game took so long is because Team Cherry said, we had so many ideas and we had so much fun making it, we couldn't stop. That is amazing. That is passion. And seeing that passion and that dedication come to fruition like this is awesome. And also them saying, it's like, yeah, so the reason we weren't updating people is, like, we were in our cave. Which would be Iron Man. We had a cave with a box of scraps. But it's like, we were in our cave making our game and having so much fun. Like, we weren't paying attention to social media. Like, we didn't know we were a meme. Like, our bad. Like, we're sorry we weren't keeping you guys updated, but I mean, come on, we were having a good time. And again, like, I just think that's super neat. And yeah, the fact that the game is only $20, and I've seen a lot of memes about just other games being super expensive and other companies being like, well, the production of making games and the cost of making games, it's so high, it's so high, it's so high. Come on, like, you gotta pay us this much. And then this game, which took so long and was made on, like, I don't know what kind of budget they had, but was made by, what, like 3-4 dudes? I think I heard Team Cherry's only 3 guys. I don't know if that's accurate, but that's wild. It's like, yeah, like, we made this and we're releasing it for only $20. I've heard that people are like, we want to pay you more for this, and they've said no. Something else I heard, I don't know if this is accurate, but apparently I think I heard in some jurisdictions it's even cheaper, like intentionally cheaper, because the value of, I think I heard like Indonesia and Malaysia, like because the value of their dollar or whatever, they seem that their currency isn't as high, the game is cheaper to make it more accessible. That is so cool to me. And again, it's like I said, it's like I love to see a genuine passion project be fruitful and like it's doing really well and it's high quality. But the fact that they just also seem to be good people, like we just want more people to experience our product. Like, are we going to give it away for free? No, but we're gonna make sure that people can afford it, because games are supposed to be fun. We're supposed to have a good time. This is a leisure. This is like a hobby. You don't have to go bankrupt for your hobby. I absolutely love that. Again, I won't be playing, which maybe makes me a little bit hypocritical, or I'm like, this is really great, but I'm not going to support it. But it's just not my thing personally. What else do I have to say about video games? Okay, so that was one. That was Silksong. Another one is Silent Hill, Shattered Memories. I don't know why I had that. I had this pause and then said the subtitle, and I wasn't even trying to do a Ruby Gilman Teenage Kraken. But so Clay and I did a playthrough. We played it Saturday, and then, did we start Saturday? Yeah, we started it Saturday, and then we finished it last night. So it only took 2 sessions. It's a survival horror game. They're going to be pretty short. I don't know if I'm going to do a separate video on it. Like, I almost feel like I should, but I don't really know what to say about it. So I guess, like, just in case I do, I'm not going to go super deep into spoilers, but I will kind of give my basic overview. Number one, I think Clay and I both agreed on this. I don't know how much I like it as a game, but I love it as an experience. But it's also the kind of experience where you have to, because the way the game is designed, you have to play it rather than watching someone else play it, because the game throughout, both in terms of the therapy sessions and the way you actually play it, will analyze you and make a psychological profile of you, and some of the different things like character designs, the environment, the things you can interact with. I think like just some of the messages and voice messages can be different too, will depend on your profile. And when you get to the very end of the game, number one, the way, without going into spoilers, there's multiple ways the game can end depending on how you played it. It's not just like, oh, I did this side quest. It's how did you answer things? How did you do these things, etc., etc. And it also ends with Kaufman, like during the credits, giving his analysis of the player. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. And there are some parts in the analysis where I'm like, okay, that feels kind of true. That one feels kind of wrong. That's definitely accurate. Like that was kind of neat. I really liked that. The gameplay, I don't know, man. A lot of it is, so we played the Wii version, it was made for the Wii, but I think there's other ports. I don't love the motion controls, because the motion controls determine like where Harry's looking, how he's looking. You can zoom in, which is not a motion control, that's just pressing the B button. But like, I have cerebral palsy. I have very naturally shaky hands. And so for me, and it's not like also, oh, game's super scary, like I can't move. It's just, I'm naturally just kind of like this. And I don't know, I think there was something about our setup that was weird, but like it felt very jank. And I don't know, it's Silent Hill. Maybe it's intentionally designed to be a little bit jank, but to a point where it didn't feel super smooth playing it. Like, this is not great. There's also, like, when you're not in the other world, which I love the design of the other world, by the way, just all of the ice and the snow, I'm like, this looks so cool, this is so pretty. When you see the transition of, like, the ice coming and, like, things getting frozen, I'm like, oh, this is so cool. No pun intended, but it's so cool. Sorry. When you're not in the other world, there are very few, I mean, there's just kind of very few puzzles in the game in general, and they're generally not that hard. But when you're not in the other world, there are no enemies, there's no threat of danger. Which, I remember saying to Clay at one point, I'm like, this game is both really interesting and really boring at the same time, because just walking around and, like, finding stuff and finding, like, the mementos and the messages, I really like that, because I knew the twist going in, and I'm like, okay, I can see some of what's being built. I can see what's happening, but they don't have a clue. Like, I'm enjoying that a lot. And also, anytime we saw a number, we had to call the number. And just, that was a lot of fun. It was super neat. But also, like, I am walking around a big area in a horror game, and I know nothing is going to hurt me. That does kind of it detracts a bit from the ambiance and the atmosphere when you know I'm fine. Now, conceptually, I'm also thinking to myself, like, if I went into an abandoned mall at like 2 a.m. with just me, like, and a flashlight and my phone, I would feel terrified, just because conceptually, like, new primal fear unlocked, I guess. Like, I don't know why that feels so creepy to me. I think it's just being alone in a big area and knowing that there's nothing else that should be here. But I've seen movies, I've read books, I've played games. There's a non-zero chance that there's something here. I'm here. And I really hope I'm alone. Like, yeah, that just kind of makes my skin crawl. But playing it, knowing that nothing's gonna happen, like, even seeing the giant toucan, which, some spoilers, that's the mall mascot, but seeing this giant toucan mascot, I'm like, I'm not in the other world, so I know there is zero chance of it coming to life to eat me. But I wish I feared that it would, But overall, I enjoyed my experience with it a lot. I am very glad I finally played it. It's kind of my first Silent Hill, because I tried playing 2 and very quickly went, this ain't it, man. Like, the actual, like, tank controls and the movement and shit, I'm like, I can't play this. But this game is so important, I'm going to watch it. So I watched, like, a 5-hour silent playthrough, no pun intended, but, like, I watched a playthrough, no commentary, just here's the game, and it got the in-water ending, and I watched all the endings, so I was like, okay, I loved this. Like, I guess I can't judge it as a game, but as, like a film, like a 5-hour horror movie, this movie's awesome. Like, I absolutely loved it. And then I watched Clay play through probably like 80-90% of the remake. So I feel like I vicariously got what I wanted from the Silent Hill 2 remake as well. I thought it was great. I haven't played 1, 3, 4, although I'm really looking forward to playing 4. Because it's just conceptually, it's something I've been really interested in for a long time. And I got it for Clay last year. So I don't know when we're going to start it, but like, maybe this year, maybe not, but I'm really interested in it. And I don't think I've played any of the spin-offs, but I've now played Shattered Memories, and when F comes out, I know I've said this several times, like, look, I got Beatrice hanging back here. I'm so excited for Ryukishi 7 Silent Hill. Like, oh man, I can't wait to go through Hinamizawa. Because that's just what it looks like to me. Like, I know it's its own place. Like, this is just Hinamizawa. Oh, man. The one thing I've heard from people who played the demo and looking at the trailers, it seems like it's more... I don't want to say it's Souls-like in any way, but it seems like it's definitely more combat-oriented. I remember reading a reviewer who played, I think it was the first 5 hours. They said, like, this was the first third of the game. Like, yeah, the boss is a lot harder than you would come to expect from a Silent Hill game. Combat's actually, like, a thing now. And it's not like I'm a Silent Hill purist. Like I said, like, I haven't really played many of them. But from what I understand, that's not, like, there's bosses for sure, but that's not really the focus. So a bigger focus on combat or, like, harder bosses, maybe that works, maybe that doesn't. But I've also heard that enemies don't really get stunned when they're hit, which sounds like that's gonna be a pain in the ass. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't get me wrong, it's not like I hear these things and go, well, now there's criticism, I don't want to get it. Like, the only things that will stop me from playing this game, aside from, like, finances taking a dive, are I'm gonna be playing Trails, and, like, because the Trails of the Sky remake, it takes precedence over it. It also comes out like a week sooner. And I'm going to be playing Pokemon, which comes out in October. So just depending on how, like, my actual schedule pans out, maybe I'll have a chance to play it soon. Maybe it'll be, look, a bunch of stuff is happening, and then it's Trails, Pokemon, you're next on deck. But I'm sorry, like, you're not going to beat Sky in a new Pokemon game. I'm excited. Just, again, like, seeing some of the gameplay and, like, the, like, scarecrows everywhere, and from what I understand, there's no way to tell if what is going to come to life or not. I'm like, that's so cool. Like, I remember there's, like, enemies like that in Wukong, where they're just there, and sometimes they come to life, sometimes they don't. But I remember there was a way to check, and it might have just been you can lock on to the ones, I think it was just you can lock on to the ones that will come to life, and that's how you can tell. There might have been another tell as well, but there was a way I could reliably tell, are you going to be a threat to me or not? And there just being enemies everywhere, and you can't tell. Oh, that's so creepy. I mean, great. I can't wait for Silent Hill F, man. I guess I can, because Trails and Pokemon. But aside from that, like, I'm stoked. I have been looking, like, as soon as this game was announced, it's been one of those where, like, every few months I'm like, okay, have we heard anything? Have we heard anything? Do we know when it's coming out? I think earlier in the year, when I made my list of stuff I want to do this year, and we all know I have not come close to all the shit on that list, but there was a point where I was like, I don't even know if Silent Hill F is coming out this year. I'm putting it on the list just in case. Muv-Luv is like that too, with Resonative, I think is what it's called, which is going to be day after part 4, which I think they said, like, what is it? Integrate, I think, is going to be actual Muv-Luv 4. It's the sequel to Alternative. But that, I think they said they're not starting it until they finish day after 4. I still haven't heard anything about that. I haven't checked in a while either. I maybe should. Sorry, now my brain is going on, like, other things that my brain is going through other things that I check on for updates. So I remembered Silent Hill, whatever I was just talking about. Man, I completely lost it. Whoops and yickety yikes. But sorry, there was that, the Zombieland Saga movie, because I remember that got announced, and I was really looking forward to it, because I love Zombieland Saga, and I know it comes out this year, I think in October? If not, it came out in September, or it's about to come out. I think it's going to come out soon, if it hasn't already. Don't know when I'm going to be able to watch it, but really excited for it. The Madoka movie, really excited for it. Oh, I remember what the other thing was. Symphogear, because they had said... Muv-Luv, that was the other thing I was talking about, too. That was the one I just had and lost. But also, because they had said, I think it was at the end of 2022... that there was a new project, but haven't said what it is. And I watched Symphogear in 2023 and loved it. So every now and then I'm just like, okay, do we know what it is yet? Like, is there going to be a new season? Is it going to be a movie? Because I've said this, I think, a few times. Symphogear with a movie budget sounds incredible. Is it a fighting game? Because something is just, like, insane as Symphogear with, like, an Arc Sys game, I would love it. Oh my gosh, that'd be so dang fun. I mean, you have a pretty decent roster. Like, so you'd have, like, your 3 main girls, and then you'd get, oh shoot, what was the name of the other three that joined later? I don't remember what the name of their team was. But like you've got your like 6 main Symphogear users, you've got the best friends in her like Frieza outfit, which I guess you could get her version from like GX. Is that season 2? Yeah, Symphogear. No, it's Symphogear, then G, then GX, which is Carol, then Axis, which is Adam, and then XV, which is the final season. So what was the best friend's name? Is it me? It's like Miyu or Miku. I want to say it was Miyu, but it might be Miku. But there's her Symphogear mode in G, and then there's her like God mode in XV. I know I'm spoiling Symphogear, whoops. But you've got those versions, and then you can get the Illuminati. Sorry, like I don't know why my brain is not braining. So you could get like the Illuminati members from Axis, Adam. You could get Babylon. What was her name? Like Mine or Mine? That sounds right, but it also feels a little wrong. But like you could probably get her as a playable character. Her like level 3 is her hook shotting the moon and bringing it down. Oh my gosh, I need that in a fighting game now. That sounds so fun. Gosh, I really don't remember the names of the villains from XV. It's like something red, I think. Like, they could probably be playable, but gosh, I remember freaking hating them. Definitely the auto score. I remember the Carol and the auto scores, because GX is my favorite season. I still sometimes am like, is it my favorite season, though? Because I can make an argument for Axis, because I really love... Like, if there's... Anytime I think to myself, I need to watch a scene from Symphogear, I don't default to the opening of GX, although every now and then I kind of will. I watch the like very ending of Axis with like Beaky screaming her transformation and then Aura-ing Adam. It's peak Symphogear. It's absolute cinema. But yeah, a Symphogear fighting game. Like, as much as I would love a new season, it doesn't need one. It honestly ends in a really good place. So like, I don't need a new season. I don't need a movie, although I would love it because more Symphogear would be goated. But a Symphogear fighting game. Please, I need this. I might want it more than a Trails fighting game. And I feel like I've talked about that before. Like, I would be so hyped because you all know I love that series. But Symphogear feels like designed to have a fighting game. Boy, I've gone on like so many tangents. I guess just to wrap up video games, there's a Nintendo Direct tomorrow. Apparently it's going to be an hour. I was not expecting that, so I really don't know. We might, and there's a part of me that's like, maybe we'll get another Mega Evolution, but we just got Friend Malamar, so we don't even need any more. We got Friend Malamar. I've loved all the Friend Malamar jokes, by the way. I love this thing's design. So like, Mega Dragonite, I think I'm coming around to it more. It's like, at first it's like, look, I just love that Dragonite is getting something. And like, it's cute, it's silly, but I don't know. But the more I look at it, I'm still like, I don't know. But I like Dragonite so much. I kind of like that it stayed adorable, you know? Victory Bell is just he's just a silly little guy with a tummy ache. I love him. I love how stupid it looks. I love how silly it is. I can't wait for it. Hawlucha genuinely looks awesome. It looks so dang cool, and I love all the like Mucha Lucha and Nacho Libre memes I've seen. Like, I saw a comic and it was of Mega Hawlucha like doing a dive off the top rope to a running away Machamp, and the text is just the song from Nacho Libre, like, I know, like, I am, I think I am, and I was laughing so hard at that. And then Mega Malamar, the way I've described it, it looks like if Megamind was wearing a PS5 that was rainbow colored. And that sounds so dumb, but it looks awesome. And I've seen so many Megamind jokes about it. And it's like, oh, you're a Pokemon, but you're not a Mega Pokemon. Well, what's the difference? Presentation! And just like Friend Malamar jokes, Megamind jokes. I've seen both at once. They're fantastic. Pokemon cooked with this whole cycle. But what are we gonna see tomorrow? I'm gonna guess something Donkey Kong. Like, I don't know if Bonanza's gonna get DLC, because I don't think, like, Odyssey kind of did, because I think they added some things. Like, I think the balloon mode was free DLC, but it didn't get, like, DLC. I don't know if Bonanza will, like, maybe a fully playable New Donk City, but I'm not holding my breath for that. Excuse me. What I am kind of holding my breath for, though, is probably Bonanza content in Mario Kart. Like, I am expecting Young Pauline. I'm expecting K. Rool and the Kremlings. I don't think Diddy and Dixie are in the game, so probably one or if not both of them. Maybe Rambi is going to be an actual, like, cart, which would honestly be pretty neat. I would definitely expect that. This feels so weird to say, but maybe a Kirby character reveal? Because the end of the Air Ride trailer teased someone. And at first I was like, okay, is that Dark Meta Knight? I don't know. And then kind of half jokingly, I was like, I mean, he's best friends with, another thing I can't remember. What's the Tekken guy's name? Is it Harada? Harada, that's it. He's like, he and Harada are besties. Like, I don't know, maybe it's a Kirby version of Kazuya. And then the more I looked at it and then heard other people like, no, yeah, that is just dark matter. Well, I feel dumb for forgetting that, but also, yeah, so are we going to be getting character reveals? Because, yeah, that roster, like, it's a good roster, but there's some notable people missing, like my Jesty Marks. But also, it looks like there's some extra room on that page. Maybe we are going to get extra characters, so maybe we're going to get a character reveal trailer? That'd be weird. Like, it's weird to think of Smash speculation for Kirby. And not, man, I hope Bandana Waddle Dee is in Smash. He's my boy. I think I've said this before. If we get another Kirby rep in Smash, it's probably going to be Bandana D. I'm not going to be mad if it's Bandana D. I'd be, like, hyped for Magolor, because I love Return to Dreamland. My pick would be Marks. If I could have any character added into Smash Bros. From this point forward, like, originating from a video game, like no Vader, no Goku, I'd probably still pick Estelle Bright. My second pick might be Marks. I love him. And I would be, like, I want him in Kirby Air Ride. Air Riders. I really want him in Smash. But, I guess we might get, like, a Kirby Air Ride character reveal. I'm hoping for a new Fire Emblem. It's been a few years, and I feel like I've said this a lot. Engage was straight up leaked, like, a while before it was announced. And the person who leaked it had said, there's a remake of Genealogy, and I think they said it's done. So at any given point, like, that could just get announced. So that might happen. It might be a completely new one. I'm like, I loved Engage. I loved Engage. I loved Three Houses. So I'm definitely would be hyped for a new Fire Emblem. I don't know what the status of Xeno is. Because, I guess, let me put it like this. I don't know if I should be holding my breath for Xenoblade 4. But also given, because I believe it's Future Redeemed, ends with the Blue Comet, and as someone who played Xenosaga, I know what that means and represents. And there's the point of me that goes, or excuse me, there's the part of me that goes, so am I waiting for Xenoblade 4? Or am I waiting for Xenosaga 4? Or is that just kind of the end? And it's like if you know, you know, and it ends in a really heartwarming way. Or am I going to get more out of this? Like, I don't know. But as someone who recently played Xenosaga, and, like, I've talked about, like, I didn't even play 2. It was like this. I can already tell all the problems I'm going to have with this game, and I'm going to hate it. But I have a definite soft spot for 1. I have some issues with it, but I really liked it, and I loved 3. Also has its issues. There was this entire chapter that I hated near the end of the game, but I really liked 3. I would be so down for a Xenosaga 4 or a Xenoblade 4 that has more, like, active Xenosaga content. Aside from just, hey, Cosmos is a summonable blade if you rolled 3 nat 20s in a row kind of thing. But, I'm hoping for that. I don't know if I'm expecting it. What other Nintendo series would I be looking forward to or expecting to see? Like, we're probably gonna get a like actual release date for Prime 4, which I think all they had said was 2025, and that's almost done. I mean, you always got to throw out Mother 3, and you always have to expect you're not going to get it. Oh, duh. Like an actual 3D Mario game. Sorry, I was like, yeah, we don't have a new Mario game for the Switch 2. Like, there's Mario Kart, but the big platformer that's selling the system was DK. We will kind of need to get a Mario, whether it is a new 3D Mario or 2D Mario. I mean, we did just get Wonder not too long ago, but it is the new system. So I would expect something there. What was Zelda? I mean, Zelda, like, Tears came out last year, didn't it? Because I know Echoes of Wisdom came out last year. I still haven't checked it out, but it seemed pretty neat. I think Tears also came out next year, so I'm definitely not holding my breath for Zelda. I mean, I guess you always gotta throw out Smash, but it's like, no, now that we know what Sakurai's been working on, and it's not Smash, I think it's probably safe to say that's not gonna happen. The only thing I could think of would be here's the Switch 2 version of Ultimate, which comes with all the DLC in it, and which, I mean, I transferred my data already, but it might be like an upgrade pack. Yeah, like an upgrade pack, kind of the way that Kirby is, which I still need to play Forgotten Land. Or I need to play the expansion. Was it like Star Crossed World or something? Because I love Forgotten Land. But they might do something like that for Smash. Like, here's all the DLC in it if you buy the game fresh. If you get the upgrade pack, here's Fighter Pass 3. I'm not holding my breath. I'm really not. But I guess I could see it happening. Who would they even add? I think if I were a betting man and that were to be a thing, I would bet on Xenoblade, which would either be Elma or Noah and Mio. I would definitely bet on Alear. I don't know about Pokemon. They skip, like, no one from Gen 8 got added, and Gen 9 is the current gen. So there's a chance they could go back and, like, add Cinderace, or they could add, like, Meowscarada, which I think Meowscarada would be a really interesting choice, because number one, we don't have a grass starter, and number two, the other two starters that we have, aside from Pokemon Trainer, are both half dark type. So Meowscarada being, like, it's grass, but also grass dark, I think would be really cool in that way. But I don't know if I'd be super holding out for a Pokemon. I don't know, maybe it'd just add Zygarde. Because we haven't had a legendary since Mewtwo. That would actually, yeah, that would kind of be sick as fuck. They said it's Zygarde. So I would assume it would play like Zygarde complete and not like Snake Zygarde. But that would be a really interesting, like, character model to work with. So I'd be really down for that. I don't know. Maybe they'll add something from Metroid. Maybe there'll be something to finally add from Zelda. Like, I don't know. But I'm just completely rambling now. So, I'm just going to switch topics. This should... I say, like, there shouldn't be a whole lot left to say. But I rambled on this for so long. Who knows? I've been off this week. I took a vacation, not to go anywhere, just to stay, maybe try to do some writing and just relax, unwind, and rest. And I have done some writing. I've actually, like, revised some query letters. I got a few chapters of Isla done. I've sent out some new queries, specifically using the revised version of the Orichalcum opening, because I think it is a lot better. And we'll see if there's any traction there. And I think I am definitely getting to that point where I feel like... how do I want to say this? I think I've kind of hit the point of Orichalcum where I don't think there's anything I can really do with it anymore. Like, with this draft, like, obviously I have a whole lot of other stuff I need to write. But when it comes to this draft in particular, I'm not like, okay, well, there's still, I mean, don't get me wrong, like there's probably still like a comma that's incorrect. There's probably a few sentences that could still be better. There's probably more than a few. Like, don't get me wrong. But I've kind of hit that point of, I don't think there's anything I can do or I can think of to make this any better. So if I send it out and it gets traction, great. If it doesn't, then I think it's time to self-publish or just like publish it online, figure out however we're going to do that, while also working on books 2 and such. With Isla, gosh, I remember saying a few months ago that I wanted to have the whole series revised by now, and that has definitely not happened. I'm still like a third of the way through book 1. But I have a lot written and a lot to revise. Like, there is a lot for me to still do. And there's a part of me that's like, I want to get more of it done before I like post it anywhere. And there's another part of me that's like, look, dog, if you don't post it soon, you're never gonna, because there will always be an excuse not to. So I don't know how that's going, but yeah, but I am doing some work on it. I am getting that bug in me again. No pun intended, because the part of right now is literally they're going to go do a bug dungeon. Is I do have that like, I want to get back into this. Like, I feel the itch. That's just kind of a nice feeling when it comes to writing. But so that's how that is. I did finish Arc 4 of Ward last week. I haven't started Arc 5 yet. My bad. But I also haven't done my video on Arc 4. I was planning on doing that today. Maybe I still will. Maybe I won't. I guess... That's really going to depend on how much battery. Like, where is my battery after this? Because I was not expecting this to be 40 minutes. I apologize for all the rambling. Even more, it feels like more so than usual. Just one of those days, I guess. But I liked Arc 4 quite a bit, but I'm also like, man, the next one's like 12 hours. And that's, I think I was kind of looking at the rest of the arcs, and I would say on average about 12 to 13 hours per. I'm like, bro, that's a lot. I think the average arc of Worm was anywhere from 4.5 to 6 hours. I think there was like 2 that were about 10, 11 hours. What were they? I want to say it was Coil and the SNK. So I think it was 16 and 26 were the super long ones. I'd have to double check, but that sounds and feels right. I'm like, no, that's... I don't want to say it's on the shorter end for Ward, but for some of them, like, almost kind of. Like, it's... Oh, man. But I am liking the story so far. But there's that part of me that's like, does it need to be this long? But maybe as I read, I'm like, no. It needed to be. It's fine. It's good. I hope it continues to stay that way. I mean, there's one other thing to talk about. Football. Because it happened. The season is live. And oh, wow, what a way to start. Before the first snap, we had an ejection. We had a game where the Cowboys had almost no pass rush after trading away their pass rusher because Jerry said, we got to improve our run game. And yeah, Jalen Hurts was doing whatever he wanted on the ground. So that did not work, Jerry. And granted, like it's only week 1. And like, yeah, we got to improve our run game. So we need a DT and we're getting some picks, which theoretically will be used to do that sometime later. And then you see Micah Parsons. I almost said Michael again. But like you get Micah Parsons in Green Bay. Just Detroit couldn't do shit. And I know Micah wasn't on the field every play. But it's like, when he was there, he made his presence felt. But yeah, the Lions didn't look great. And it is the kind of thing that makes you wonder. Because I never did a video before the season. And I guess it's now technically too late. But it's not super late. It was something that I had been wondering is the Lions have been really good the past few years, but you did lose both your coordinators. Now, the Eagles lost both their coordinators, and then the next year were still good, but then partway through they took that nosedive, and then the next year they won the whole dang thing. But so, how much of this was just, it was week 1, week 1 can always be weird, the Lions are going to be fine? How much of this was, the Lions are still good, the Packers are just that good, and how much of it was, no, there is going to be a problem. This might be a longer season in Detroit than they were expecting, and not for the reasons they were hoping it would be long. So we'll see how that goes. The Saints lost, was expected. We didn't get blown out. That was nice. I was happy to know that we had a chance to win the game, and at halftime with 3 timeouts, we weren't using them to try and go kick a field goal, which, I don't know, in a game where you lose by you lose by a touchdown, so a field goal obviously doesn't help. But I'm like, I don't know, use those timeouts, maybe go down the field, keep, some momentum going. I know momentum's like a thing, but it's not a thing, and blah, blah, blah. But at the very least, you could maybe go down the field, kick a field goal, and then maybe if our kicker doesn't miss another field goal, instead of being down by 7, we're only down by 1, and then we can just kick a thing and win. But it didn't happen. And I feel like that's going to be something that happens a lot, is not winning. And it's not going to be fun. It's going to suck. But I think that's my thing. I think that's why I'm so bothered by us not trying to do a 2-minute drill at the end of the half, is if the perspective is, I don't want to risk anything because we don't have a lot of time left. It's like, well, we have 3 timeouts, so that's actually a lot of time. Or you could have used those timeouts to save time. So that's bad. So that's either bad clock management by the coach, or if it's a straight up, I really don't want my QB doing a 2-minute drill, then he shouldn't be your QB. Then maybe you should have stuck with the other guy. But also, we understand this is a rebuilding year. This is a year about let's see what we have in our young QBs. Let's see if we can build some rapport. He can build some rapport with the receivers, how the O-line meshes, all that. But also, let's build our culture. And I would want to be a culture. And yeah, you want to be smart, obviously. You don't want to just do dumb shit in a game. But this is game 1 under a new regime. Do something with these 2 minutes. In this, I know it wasn't a whole last 2 minutes, but do something with these timeouts. Try to make something happen. See what you've got. Because Rattler's played in the preseason. He played in practice. He played some last year too. It was okay, kid, not a lot of time. 3 timeouts. Go make something happen. Or less time, less timeouts, but a bit more time. Let's go and see if we can make something happen. Because there's not expectations this season, which means we as a team have nothing to lose. So let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can build upon. And the fact that at the end of the first half, we didn't, really bothers me. But we'll see what happens. Maybe we are good. Maybe we get really good. Oh gosh, you want to know my prediction for the season? I think my honest, good faith prediction is we're going to be bad. We're going to win 2 to 5 games. We're probably going to be in a lot of games and look kind of competitive, but we're not going to win a lot. But hopefully we can build some good foundation for the future. That is a genuine good faith, expectation. Here's my actual expectation as a Saints fan. We're not going to be very good. And then there's going to be a point in the second to third quarter of the season, we kind of start to click and figure it out. And then we start winning. Not a super win streak, but it's okay, the Saints have now won 4 of 5, 5 of 7, something like that. And it's okay, they're still under 500. They still got a way to go to get in the division or a wild card, but hey, there's some good stuff going on here. Some other teams lose and they keep handling their business. There's a chance at something. And then when you get to those last 3-4 weeks of the season where, okay, let's go, let's do it. We've been getting better. We've been building. Some of these other teams ahead of us are starting to falter a bit, or maybe we have them on our schedule. Let's take advantage. We're just losing. And it might be blowouts, it might be bad luck, it might be just weird, stupid decision making. but something is going to happen, and we're going to go from no expectation to I have hope again to this is why hope sucks. Because that's what like the last few seasons have been, and it's a new coach, it's a new regime, which is why I want to feel like it's not what's going to happen. But I don't know. I got that bad feeling, man. But Ravens-Bills was awesome. Like, oh my gosh. That game was insane. I'm trying to just remember all the stuff that happened. You had Derrick Henry have like 150 yards or something like that, had a touchdown. Lamar looked unstoppable. Zay Flowers was open anytime they threw it to him, but at one point, Josh Allen throws a ball and a receiver tries to grab it, and it looks like it wasn't even being thrown to him. Like, maybe it was like a little high going for him, but it looked like it was going for a guy in the back of the end zone. And then like a guy tries to grab it, doesn't, but tips the ball, so it goes to another dude who dives to catch it, and it's a touchdown on like 4th and 2. What was that? You have Derrick Henry, who's been solid all game, absolutely incredible, has a key fumble because Ed Oliver said, we're winning today, you can't stop us. After the Bills had been down by 15 for what felt like most of the game at that point. It's like, all right, they scored. They have a chance. And the Ravens scored again. Hey, they scored. Well, the Ravens scored again. What are we going to do? They're like, no, I'm not letting them score again. We're recovering this fumble. Score again. Oh, man, they're only 2 away from tying it. Missed the 2-point conversion. Because I feel like they went for 4 or 5 2-point conversions and literally got none of them. Which, if memory serves, didn't that happen in the AFC Championship last year? Like, I felt like it was either they kept going for 2, or it was just they kept trying to do the tush push, or what do they call it, the snow plow in Buffalo. And every time it didn't work. Like, they tried it at the goal line, they tried it like on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, and I still think they got a bad spot on one of those. Like, I think that one should have been a first down. Don't know if how it would have changed the game. I really don't. But I think they did get screwed on that one. Also, there was a bit here where Allen slides. The ball is past the first down, but it's moved like a yard or 2 back from there, so they have to punt on that possession. Did not affect the game ultimately because they still won. We're like, they got screwed on that one. I don't think I brought up the fact that there was like Hopkins like gets targeted once and has like the craziest catch of the year already. I mean, there might have been some other really good ones I didn't see, but has this absolutely insane catch. And as he's walking by, a Bills fan like shoves him on the head and then shoves Lamar, and then Lamar shoves him, and that's like not even the craziest shit that happened. I mean, some of it is because it's part of it, but it's just the fact that the Bills are down so much of the game and their own fans start leaving. And this is the last year of that stadium. This is an incredibly a fan base that is known for how passionate they are and how loyal they are. And while there's still a chance, they are actively leaving. And the Bills score 16 points in the last, 4 or 5 minutes to win. And the dude who kicked the game-winning field... Oh, that's right, there was also, like, just the wild shit at the end of the half where time expired, but then they have to go back and review to see, was there any time left on the clock? And the Ravens are already running into the locker room, and the ref has to say, Baltimore, get back out here, we're still reviewing. And the Bills get to kick a field goal before the half, and I'm like, those are like the longest 2 seconds I have ever seen. But I'm also like, I thought there was a rule where there was a minimum of like 3 seconds to put time back on the clock. Because I thought that was a thing where if it is just 1 second, they don't do it. I could be wrong. Very clearly I was. Unless it's a rule change. Maybe I'm just totally off my rocker. But I thought that was a thing. Where at least like when the clock hits 00, it's... You don't put time on unless there's a minimum of 3 seconds. Anyways, sorry. But that happened, and without those 3 points, Buffalo would have been down, a field goal put them up by 1 or 2. So they would have needed a touchdown which where they were on the field at that point, still very doable, but they wouldn't have been able to bleed clock, which means the Ravens would have had a chance to win the game, and the Ravens still had a chance to win the game because they could have went for it on 4th and 3. I think it was 4th and 3, like from their own 40, which is weird to think that, like, that's how weird and cool this game was. Like, shit like that, where like they're up by 2, and if they don't convert here, the Bills get the ball kind of in field goal range, because Prater's got a leg on him, but they want to get a little bit closer than that. You're kind of giving them the game if you don't get this. But if you punt it and you give the ball back to Allen, who he had like 250 yards in the 4th quarter alone, like it feels like you're still giving the game away anyways. You're kind of in a lose-lose unless you win, but they didn't. And then the game-winning field goal along with the one at the end of the half, and the one here was also kind of a fire drill because they were out of time. Like, it wasn't as crazy as the Chiefs one, but it's like, hey, we still gotta get our shit ready. Was kicked by a dude who's only been there for like 2 nights at this point. And granted, like, Matt Prater's not a rookie. He's been around for a long time. Dude's got a leg. But I'm like, yeah, it's... I mean, just like I heard some Bills players be like, "Oh yeah, like we hadn't even met him yet. Like when he first walked in, I thought he was like, coach." And it's like, yeah, a dude who's barely been here. It reminds me of like the was it last? It was last year, or the year before, when Josh Dobbs was in Minnesota, and they were saying it's like, yeah, like he doesn't even know all his teammates' names yet. He's still learning the playbook, and he went in to win the game. I think it was against the Falcons. I mean, beat the Saints too, but just that kind of. No, it couldn't have been last year because Jameis wasn't on the team last year. Wait, was he on the team last year? Because didn't he come back to be our backup? I don't think it'd be different to see that. Where was he last year? No, he was in Cleveland last year. He was in Cleveland last year because that was the Snow Globe game. So this, I think, was 2 years ago when the thing happened with Dobbs and the Vikings. Yeah, because last year the Vikings, that was McCarthy and Darnold. So yeah, that Dobbs had nothing to do with them that year. It was the year before. But it kind of reminded me of that. It's like, dude doesn't know his team, doesn't even know the plays. But I mean, as a kicker, there's still like a vibe and a process and everything, but you don't really need to know the play. It's boom, I hope you make it. And that's not even getting to Jets Steelers, which I was expecting to be like, yeah, it'll be fine. It might be kind of a boring game. This game is wild. What the hell is happening? I was not expecting to have so much fun with that game. Duval got their first win of the season. Bucks Falcons was like pretty fun. It really went down to the wire. Because I never made the video about the season, I don't think I've had a chance to say this, but I have kind of a weird feeling about the Giants that I don't want to say the Giants are making the playoffs, but I feel like they're going to be weirdly in contention for a lot of the year. Like, this is a team that's probably going to win like 6-7 games or so, but are going to be close to getting a wild card, and maybe if they really click, they can actually go get it. Which, losing week 1 without scoring a touchdown doesn't, give faith to that. But you lost to a team that was in the NFC Championship last year, who, should be even better than they were last year. Kind of makes sense that you're going to lose, and we'll see. And the Bengals did what the Bengals do in week 1, which is not look good because they had only 7 yards in the second half, but they also didn't do what they do in week 1 because they actually won the game. So, is Cleveland going to be good because that defense is still really good, but also no because of all the offensive issues? But again, it's only week 1. Who knows? I'm excited. This should be... Gosh, this has been an hour. I'm sorry. I did not expect for this to be an hour. I really thought it was going to be maybe 25 minutes. Lot of rambling, even more than usual. My bad. And yes, I understand that I am rambling as I am saying this. But this should be a fun season. I am excited. Let's go.